Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of Yappers with your yapping queen, me, Deval. Today I'm voiced. I am. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Rosie, you gotta voice me today.
Dang.
Uh,
Hi, I'm Rosie, who apparently developed voices.
okay, I'm voicing you too. Okay. Uh, uh, welcome to Yappers. Today I'm joined by Rosalina, who is a frequent guest on the Let's Play channel, which I kind of abandoned whilst
Oop.
working on this other video. I'll get back to it eventually. But like, I don't
Eventually.
have. The thing about it is, editing takes a while, and recording an over month-long video of my descent to madness once again takes a bit. uh, but anyway, yeah, welcome to Yappers again. This is just a thing where we yap, and I'll have various guests on each time. And anyway, yeah, and we're just gonna yap about whatever Minecraft movie, yeah,
Minecraft movie.
Minecraft movie, the death nail of movie culture.
Oh my gosh. I have not seen the Minecraft movie personally, but I've never been like a big Minecraft person.
Mm, mm,
So it's like I played some of it like before, like when the game I think was like first coming out.
yeah.
But um yeah, it's like it's strange that this movie even like exists. I guess like kids are having fun with it, but like I can't really wrap my head around it.
Yeah, it's I guess on one hand it's like I get it, you want to make a kids movie about something that's popular. On the other hand, it's capitalist as shit. Because it's like, how can we make more money out of this? Uh but it's been interesting to see the reviews because some people are like, ah, yeah, it's fine, it's surprisingly good, I enjoyed it. Other people are like, this is the final death nail of movies, this is the end for it, this is never coming
This
back.
is
And I'm
I think
like,
it's so funny when people get like really over dramatic and say like this is the end times, and I'm like, I don't know, I've seen way worse.
yeah, like from what I've seen, it is a kind of just a mid movie, but I do get that
Yeah.
the idea of we're kind of like being taught to expect less from movies and like, oh, it's just for kids, so it's fine that the movie's bad. And it's like, I
Oh yeah.
don't know if I
No.
agree to that because I feel like
Okay. No, no, no. I hate that argument so bad when people say like, "Oh, like it's totally fine for the movie to just be bad. Like it's a kids movie." And I'm like, "Kids deserve to have good movies. Kids
exactly,
deserve to have good media for them." Which is why it's so annoying when people just kind of like resign to like bad stuff being put out for kids, or like, you know, like just a lot of constantly like mid stuff. And it's like, okay, like, even if you didn't enjoy it, as like someone who thinks that, like you've just like grown past this, like, that's a totally normal like mindset to have. It's like you could also look at it objectively about how like kids would probably feel about this movie.
mm,
And it's like, I don't know, like of course, like I'm older than you, so I've watched like a lot of like older movies.
it's okay. We love older
And
women here.
shut up. But it's like, I grew up on like, the old Disney movies,
Mm, mm.
and like the older Pokemon movies, like the first Pokemon movies.
Oh yeah,
And
I've got fun facts
um
about the first Pokemon movie in a sec. Once you're done.
yeah. No, but it's like, stuff like that is like, like there's a bunch of animated movies that I watched when I was younger, and some really good like live action ones. And it's like it feels like really kind of insulting to act like kids shouldn't like have better
Mm, mm.
because they're kids. And it's like, no, this is the stuff that is like in their formative years. Like they should have like good things made for them?
Oh, absolutely. And instead, they just want to feed them slop. And it's like, it's akin to like slop tube and all that. Like, it's,
Oh.
like the whole Spider-Man Elsa videos from a while back. They don't. It's an extension of that, I think. Obviously, they're not the ones
Oh,
making that stuff, but it's the idea of
oh my
like
gosh.
not
Like,
getting kids used to not having good stuff they can enjoy, and just saying like, well, it's good enough, and it's like it's an insult to the arts, it's insult to the mediums. It's like they're telling story. You can make movies for kids that have a message, that have like, or art don't have to have a message, but are just fun and whimsical. But it's like they can still be good movies as well. They're allowed to be good.
yeah, it's like I didn't really realize until like I started babysitting my niece about like how much like asset flip like slop is on like YouTube.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And it's like, she was telling me yesterday when I was babysitting that she wanted to watch Paw Patrol, and I was like, okay, like, sure, I'll put that on. And then I realized that the kind that she was talking about was this really crappy version on YouTube that was blatantly like stealing sound effects from other things and stuff like that. I was
Mm.
like, I feel like this stuff could be made in like a lazy afternoon, which is not a good thing because it's like I kept hearing stuff like the Metal Gear like alert sound effect. And then like I was talking to my sister like while she was looking at it and I was like, yeah, I really don't like this. And then all of
Mm.
a sudden I could hear straight up music from Kirby 64
Oh my
playing from
god.
this. And my sister just kind of stopped and she was like, "Why is there Kirby music on this?" And I was like, "No, for real." And I was like, "Yeah, like this is like," I said like I think it's like really like mindless slop that is not good for kids, especially, like my niece is like 3.5 years old.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't want her to be watching this. And unfortunately, she's gonna want to watch it when she comes over in like 2.5 hours, and I'm gonna have to be like, sorry, sweetie, no, sorry.
No slop for you today. You want to
Yeah.
have healthy stuff. Have Pokemon.
Oh my gosh. I wish we were able to stream Pokemon. I don't even think like any of the streaming services have it available.
Yeah, fuck knows. I'm so out of the loop on like what streaming services have what anymore. Like trying to
I
track
straight
down
up.
Bleach was a fucking like why is it on Disney Channel now?
Oh my gosh, so it was like partly on Netflix and then partly on Disney. That's so strange.
Yeah, and like
Like,
they
I
also
don't.
removed the whole like before the Thousand Year Blood War stuff. All that's gone from Crunchyroll now.
Oh my gosh. I really hate when they split up seasons
Mm,
like that across several streaming services.
yeah, like
So it's like Inuyasha has like what, like the first 4 seasons or something on Netflix, and then it's like good luck finding anything else after that.
yeah, I've
But
heard.
it's yeah, like it's really frustrating. And like personally, I don't use streaming services like my mom and my stepdad do.
Mm,
So I just like watch everything online.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, like I just don't use streaming services, and I think a lot of them are kind of like a waste of money. Like, well, I mean, personally, I feel like they're that way with how a lot of them keep splitting, like, and then
yeah.
making their own fancy new streaming services, and like,
And then it's
oh,
like,
a
oh, and now
streaming
you can
service.
buy the entire pack of them for a monthly fee, and we're back to cable again.
Yep, that's literally how it is because originally, like, the draw of streaming was that they didn't have ads and like, you could pay for like a channel that had like all the stuff that you wanted, and
Mm,
it was cheaper than cable. And
yeah,
now
yeah,
all of these companies were like, oh, we could get in on streaming services. By the way, everything has ads now. You have to pay more to not have ads. Or you
yeah.
could pay more to delay ads. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, literally, like, or like, here you can pay a bit less but get ads, and it's like, what is the point?
What? I know, it's so stupid. Um,
Well, that
but what were
appealing.
you gonna say about
Yeah, I was
like
about to
what were
say,
you gonna say
weirdly,
about Pokemon?
yeah, yeah, let's move on to a more fun topic. I say as I'm about to bring up stuff
Yeah.
like the Phantom of the Opera. Um, so Mewtwo was literally based off of the character, the Phantom of the Opera. Um, and in for the Japanese version, they literally went to the actor. I forget his name, but he was the actor for the like stage play, and they were like they got him to voice Mewtwo. And when he was reading the
Weird.
script, he was like, "Is this just the Phantom of the Opera?" And Takeshi? No, the lead screenwriter for the Pokemon anime, and basically who
Yeah.
saved Pokemon. Because he's kind of a hero and for Pokemon, but because it was like the movie came out right after the Porygon shock, uh,
Oh my
and
gosh.
literally,
Like the Porygon thing was wild.
yeah, this movie literally saved Pokemon. Uh, and yeah, he was the lead writer for it, and then for the first, uh, for the most a large chunk of the Pokemon anime, uh, yeah, and he was like, yeah, I'm making this a Phantom of the Opera. Uh,
Honestly, like the first
Pseudo,
Pokemon movie
pseudo.
was so good.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Originally, it wasn't.
yeah.
It was also only because Pokemon was in such a dire state that he was allowed to have such freedom with it, because they would never have normally allowed it to be like tackle those themes and kind of be like the
Oh
darker
yeah,
aspects
because the
of it.
first movie was pretty dark. Like when you look at it, because it's like, oh, all of like these Pokemon ended up being cloned, and then they all have to fight each other to the death.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, and Mewtwo is going to literally kill everyone. And the
yeah,
movie starts with Mewtwo killing a bunch of scientists.
yeah, yeah. Like it's
Like, yeah, like he just blows the place up, and I'm like, you know what, deserved.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, they were working for the Pokemon Yakuza, so
yeah. Uh, yeah, and then with the second movie, this one was the one that apparent. So I his entire blogs were translated by I believe it was Did You Know Gaming page to have them translated, and so we can read them. And it was really interesting on the development of Lugia. Uh,
right?
have you seen that? Because it's fucking
Oh,
incredible.
that Lugia was made for the movie.
Yes.
Like that is just so fascinating because it explains so much. Because like Ho-Oh was literally in the Pokemon anime since the first episode,
Yeah.
so like Ho-Oh had something going on there, but it's like it explains why Ho-Oh had some like really extensive lore in like
Mm,
Gold and Silver and Crystal, but Lugia was just kind of there.
yeah.
So then it was like, oh, because the second Pokemon movie came out before the games.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that it did. So
Yes.
then they
Ho-Oh
were like
was
they added Lugia because
yeah.
I think it was so popular.
Ho-Oh was added to the
But
anime to promote Gold and Silver. However,
uh
Silver was originally going to have a different like main legendary.
oh really? Which one?
It never got made. It was like a kind of shisha sort
Oh
of thing, like the Chinese guardian dogs, dog lion
oh
things.
yeah.
Uh,
Hmm.
and basically Lugia was such a the creation of Lugia is so interesting because it was such a all hands on deck sort of thing. Uh, you had Pseudo, you had was it Pseudo or Shudo? Give me a second. We're gonna look it up real quick because I don't want to keep mispronouncing the last name.
Yeah. Takeshi Shudo?
I think so. Pokemon anime screen. Yeah, Takeshi Shudo. Um,
Yeah.
who also this man was insane. He was popping tranquilized pills and alcohol constantly, whilst
Dude.
writing Pokemon. He was insane. That and the fact that he lasted as long as he did. Yeah, like obviously do not take those. Do not
Yeah.
smoke. Do not. Well, okay. If you want, like, I'm not going to encourage any of it. Your body, your choice. Whatever. Do what you want. Uh, probably don't take tranquilizers and alcohol whilst on the job, though.
Yeah. It's like a tranquilizer and a stimulant, the perfect combination.
Yeah. He kept saying basically he would keep balancing it till he got to a perfect point of like clarity, which helped him write.
It's
Uh,
like the NyQuil DayQuil pose.
yeah, literally. Um. Anyway, and Lugia he designed to be basically kind of like this mother figure, this very kind of Mother Earth, the mother of the ocean and mother of life, and originally intended them to not be a Pokemon, but rather like its own entity sort of thing.
Interesting.
And he was heartbroken when the Lugia was given a male VA, and didn't he felt like he
Oh
should have
my,
pushed harder to keep that. They also, because he took some inspiration from Ryuji,
hmm
the like the sea, the guardian of the ocean from Japanese mythology,
yeah,
but only meant to take a bit of inspiration, not like the whole thing. Its shiny palette is believed to be based off that, actually, the kind of that very specific red color.
yeah, like reddish pink. Yeah.
Yeah, also used a lot in the Ryujin mythologies. Uh, and
Mm,
that was one of the things that sent him spiraling. But yeah, it's
God.
just like very interesting. He did kind of get his wish in a later episode, where because you did have a mother Lugia and their
Oh
child.
yeah, and the baby Lugia. The
Yeah,
baby Lugia was so cute. It was one of my favorite older episodes.
yeah. There's also they also called to it reference to it as Specimen X, and originally that's kind of like the code name for the for Lugia,
Hmm
which was a fun little thing. But yeah, he also his original plan for the third movie was uh so that was the Entei one. His original plan for the
Yeah.
one was actually back in Kanto, and so because again they only had a few Johto Pokemon they were allowed to use.
hmm
So it was one where again this is all from Did You Know Gaming. If you want to know more, talk. I just find it fascinating, but they did incredible breakdowns on it. Uh, there was a thing of a T-Rex fossil that was discovered and dug up in Kanto, throwing everything into a spin. Because you know how originally you had like animals and stuff, like the fish and the birds in the Pokemon world, but they slowly got phased out.
Yeah, that was very interesting when they were like, "Oh yeah, like here's like real animals," and then now everything is just as a Pokemon.
Yeah. His idea was to kind of bring the animals back in this kind of spectacular fashion, and then like Oak freaking out over a T Rex, and then apparently, again, this never got past screenwriting. The script was rejected and stuff.
Yeah.
But he talked a lot about it on his blog, and it was he also wrote a lot of it from hospital. But each movie he had a kind of theme. Uh, the
Mm,
first one was what is self. The second one was what is life, I want to say. And the third one is what is this strange world I find myself in.
God.
Uh,
Like the third movie was really good. I'm glad that they didn't go with like the T-Rex thing because I think that would have been a bit too out there.
oh yeah, it was very
But
interesting as a concept because you had it coming. You had
yeah.
the T Rex skeleton coming to life. It destroyed Oak's lab. It went on a rampage across Kanto, trying to get somewhere, destroying everything in its path. Everyone, Team Rocket teamed up with the main team, like the full Team Rocket, to try to stop it.
Yeah.
And however, he decided in his because he's him. He decided that it was like, and what was the T Rex looking for? Where was it going? You'll never know. And then he died a few months later.
Oh my God.
Like, okay, okay, okay,
Yep, that went to the grave.
yeah, like
Like,
I was so curious about what was happening when I was hearing the entire thing, and then just learning. Yeah, he never
yeah.
said. Ah,
Yeah, it's like when I think about the third Pokemon movie, I really liked the idea of like the unknown basically being able to make like your wishes and dreams like real.
mm,
I think that was really cool considering I feel like the unknown are like very like underused.
yes, I really like
Uh,
the theory that the unknown are almost like the physical manifestations of like almost the programming of the world, and I love
mm,
that theory, and that's why like altering the unknown, that's why they can grant wishes. They can change reality by changing the order they're in. Uh, I just think that's really fun. But yeah, the father daughter dynamic was inspired by so after his initial script of the T-Rex was rejected, he was out walking and he saw like this so bootleg Pokemon merch,
uh,
and he was like, this person's probably selling it so they can be able to feed their family and all that. And he's like, Pokemon, if I don't create a movie that's going to be good to help Pokemon, people like this sell Pokemon merch, that's going to affect families. And so he buckled down, wrote the Entei movie, and it was still a hit. So, but
Oh yeah,
also
I mean, like,
I believe he
Sente.
named the the Japanese name for the daughter in that was actually the name of his daughter.
Oh,
Yeah, and so it was like a message to her when she grows up and stuff. And I
that's
thought
really
that was,
cute.
yeah, I thought that was really sweet. And yeah,
Mhm.
Pokemon has some
Uh,
like, I always love hearing about the backgrounds behind this stuff. Behind stuff like, again, how the amount of love and passion that goes into a film, even if it's not like what they originally wanted, it can be so incredible. And I'm tying this back to the Minecraft movie of like, this
oh
was
my
made
gosh.
purely for capitalist bullshit.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like it's really frustrating when you see a movie and it's like it's clearly designed to just like wring money out of people.
Mm.
Like, um, it's like, okay, for example, like this is a good, like a better example of a like good movie. But it's like I was actually talking about this in my voice chat when like the other day when we were actually talking about like this exact thing. And I was like, it's wild that like, the live action like Detective Pikachu movie actually was like really good.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Like, and I was like, I think like one thing that really helped was that it was good for like as a movie for kids. Because it still had like that like level that kids could really enjoy it. And of course, it's Pokemon. Of course, they're going to market it towards
yeah,
kids. But at the same time, it was also really relatable because, like, the main character is an adult who is like disillusioned with Pokemon. He never like went on his adventure as a kid, and now he's working a shitty like 9 to 5 at a job he hates. Like, and it's like it's a good movie for like several audiences, and Detective Pikachu is just like a good movie in general for a video game movie.
yeah, yeah. I think
Like,
I
yeah.
will say credit to Minecraft movie on this. They went out of their way to hire a redstone expert, at Mumbo Jumbo, I believe was their username, and he's like a really like he's got that redstone autism. He's really
Mhm.
good at redstone, so they actually hired him out and said, okay, how do we design a thing to do this? How do we do, having a consultant for just how the redstone works to have the movie's logic, you know, meet the game. And I think that for,
Mhm.
a game adaptation, having someone who knows the game you're trying to adapt inside and out is a really good
Mhm.
way of going forward about it. Like like the fucking Borderlands movie. Oh my god, that was uh but
Oh my gosh, it's like that's how I felt with the Monster Hunter movie. Like it is
oh
terrible.
god, I tried my best to watch that, but like it's so
We
bad all the way through.
no, like okay, so it's like, three like, including me, like people in my group chat are all like very normal about Monster Hunter. And we were like, okay, one day we're gonna subject ourselves to the Monster Hunter movie. And we pulled it
Oh
up. We're
boy.
all having a
Oh
watch
boy.
party. And I was like, this is
Party's a
an
strong word.
abomination. Yeah, I was like, this is an
This is a group
abomination.
torture session.
Oh, that's exactly what it was. But it's like, when we were watching it, I was like, the thing is that the last thing that will appeal to me personally as a Monster Hunter player is seeing a bunch of military guys attacking a monster.
Literally, like,
Like, and then them doing a weird horror angle with one of the monsters, but also making it look way uglier than it is in the games. I
mm-hmm,
was like
mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't know, Monster Hunter is scary in certain aspects at certain points in the
The
games,
Kezi.
but I was like, oh yeah, Kesu is very freaky. Oh my gosh. But it's like with like Drusilla, it's like, okay, I mean, it's already scary for being a giant spider, but it's
Mm,
like they made it look so ugly and changed its design so much, and they were like, yeah, what's scary? Like, spiders eating people. And it's just like, okay, I mean, like they're already scary for just being giant spiders. Like we don't need to like crank it up a bit more by like appealing to like the general audience with it, I guess.
It's
But then again, this
also
is by the same guy who made the Resident Evil movies, so what could I expect out of him, I guess.
yeah, yeah. I think it's also just like a deep lack of understanding and respect for the source material. Like, I'm not saying
Oh
you
yeah.
have to do a one for one. I don't think we need that. I think you can do your own version of it when adapting things. I think that's all well and good. But I think when you take the core of what makes it that and you don't like have any trace of that, like the whole idea of like, Monster Hunter's all about maintaining the balance, all about maintaining the circle of
Yeah.
life. And here's a bunch of military dudes because fucking you can't relate to it unless yeah, USA, USA.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, we got a bunch of military guys getting isekai'd into the Monster Hunter world. And then most of them die except for the main character who is the director's wife.
Of course, of
And
course.
then it's like the problem with like the hunts is like they just have like, oh, like here are these monsters and they are just violent and you have to kill them in an extremely brutal way in the movie. And then it's like, and then they had the weird racism going on in the movie. And
Forgot
it's
about
just like, it was just so bad. It was so bad. And also, can I be real? Like, okay, so I have eyes and I can think like, a man is good looking without being attracted to him, right?
that. Yeah,
So how
yeah,
did
yeah.
they make Ron Perlman ugly? Like, I'm sorry, like he's a good looking man. Like, I think he's a good looking man, and he looked amazing in like Pacific Rim.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like when I think about that, and then I think about him in the Monster Hunter movie, I'm like, what'd you do to him? Like, why is he wearing like a Party City wig?
Oh my god, you're so right. You're so right. Uh,
Like, I'm
God.
sorry, I just had to get that off my chest because I was like, what are we doing here? Like, how'd you do that?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, just you're absolutely right. Like, it just shows the importance of like character design at every level. Like, fucking sometimes you just need to step back and say, hey, if I'm making this good looking dude be as unappealing as possible, am I doing something wrong?
No, for real. Like, that's the thing that like killed me, especially since it's like it felt like, oh, like here's a clever like shout out to like Monster Hunter World and everything, and then all the Monster Hunter World players hated it.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like, because he was trying to do that thing where he's like trying to appeal to everyone, but then he appeals to no one
Mm,
because like regular people didn't want to watch the movie. And I was asking my friends, I was like, okay, if you'd like never played Monster Hunter before and you saw this movie, would you be able to tell what the games are about? And they were like, no.
absolutely not. It's like, my dad actually. So, my dad, being a fucking weirdo, enjoyed the Borderlands movie, but
Oh
then
my god.
has and we were like, okay, we're buying you the games, you are playing through them, so you can understand exactly why you're wrong. Um,
Yeah.
although I listen, I bought them at a super cheap discount because I don't like giving modern Gearbox any money. Fuck Randy Pitchford. I hope
Eddie
he gets.
Pitchford.
I hope he gets. Listen. If Randy Pitchford has no haters, then I am fucking dead.
Oh, speaking of though, like I thought it was so funny how many people were like so excited for like the Deltarune announcement at like the Switch 2 Direct.
Mm,
And like everyone's popping off about like Deltarune because like chapter 3 and 4
yeah,
is
yeah,
like what
yeah.
everyone's really hyped about, including me. Like nobody's gonna see me for like days after that
Of
drops.
course, of course.
And anyways, immediately after, it's like without even like a gap in like no like not even just showing like a video or something. It's just Randy Pitchford standing there. Everyone's like, get this man off the screen.
Yeah,
Like it's
because
such a
like
total whiplash of being
he's
at
such
like
a
the
piece
highest
of
high.
shit. Everyone knows
It
he's
is
like. There's no. I don't know anyone on any side of the spectrum of like left to right or whatever you want to say. I don't know anyone who likes him.
yeah, it's like I think it's really wild because people are like, yeah, like I just was at like the highest high with like Deltarune and then got the worst like feeling ever immediately after and I was like, wow, that's really impressive.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's like Again, there's so many stories of him being a piece of shit, assaulting someone in an elevator, not paying the actor of Claptrap for the entire first game,
Oh, I remember
and
that.
then
I
when yeah,
remember
yeah.
that.
So the VA, this is actually the same story as the elevator one. So the VA for sorry, I forget his name, but for Claptrap in Borderlands 1, uh when they were
Let me
working
look.
on Borderlands 2, he asked, "Hey, if I'm going to voice him again, I want, payment this time." And he assaulted him in the elevator, then fired him.
Yeah, it says that oh, okay. Claptrap was voiced by David Eddings in the first four Borderlands games, so it was replaced by Jim Ferranda since Borderlands 2 VR, following a public falling out between Eddings and Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford.
There you go.
Good lord.
Fallout is a very, putting it mildly. I just realized my ice matches fucking nondescript energy can. I just noticed that. I've had
Oh
this model for
boy.
like a year now, and I never noticed that. Um,
Mm.
yeah. Okay, let's switch gears a bit. Shiny hunting is something we both like to do. Tell me about your latest shiny hunting journey. I believe it's Pokemon Shield you're going through.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I was very normal. I got Pokemon Shield and the DLC. And like for a while I actually okay, I actually sold my original copy of Shield because I just wasn't feeling it. But then I came back like years later and I was like, "You know what? I want to give this game a shot again."
Hmm.
And I never played the DLC.
Oh, I love the
So, I went
DLC.
and did that and I really enjoyed playing Shield again.
Hmm.
Like I was like, "Wow, this game is actually like really good." And it plays really well.
Okay.
Like it like I've had like no problems with like graphics or anything. I mean like frame drops or anything like
Hmm.
that. Like it's been very stable. It's been very good. Anyways, I was running through the DLC and I completed my regional decks with the help of one of my friends. And I got the shiny charm and I unlocked Dynamax Adventures in Crown Tundra.
Hmm.
And I am trying to shiny hunt legendary Pokemon in that right now. Um, there are a few that I'm trying to hunt for on stream because those are the ones that I want like the most, which is like Lunala, Lugia, Latias, and Blacephalon.
Hmm.
So those are the ones that I want to catch on stream. But like with the shiny charm, your odds of getting a shiny per run is like 1 in 100,
God damn,
which
that's not bad.
that is extremely like that is an extremely good chance. And to highlight that, yesterday I got two shiny Pokemon.
Hell
I
yeah.
got a Palpitoad and a Flygon.
Hell yeah, we love shiny
So
Flygon.
I know, right? And it's like it's the first time I've ever caught a shiny Flygon, so I was very excited. But
Hmm.
it's like, you catch like four Pokemon per run, assuming that you can beat like, the legendary at the end.
Hmm.
But it's like, you have like no incentives to like not catch it, like to catch any Pokemon. So, because it's like 100% catch rate.
Hmm.
So you just like catch all four Pokemon, and then you have a 1 in 100 chance of getting a shiny out of like each one.
Hmm.
So it's like there are so many legendary Pokemon that you can shiny hunt in like Sword and Shield. So I was like, you know what? I think that this sounds like a really fun idea. And like, I think that Dynamax is like a lot more hands-on than just like constantly like soft resetting, which is like
Yeah.
stuff I'm gonna have to do in like Let's Go eventually, where like I'm doing my shiny Professor Oak challenge and my first shiny reset is gonna have to be for like Magikarp. But later on down the line I'm gonna have to shiny reset for the gift Arcanine that you
Oh
get.
god, yeah.
And um I'm gonna yeah, because it's like Magikarp, Arcanine, the fossil
The
Pokemon.
Alolan Pokemon.
Um well actually no, I don't think I have to shine like well, I can soft reset for them, but there's like a trick that you can do in the games to like
Oh,
farm a bunch of fossils and then I could just like turn on the turbo on my
fair enough, fair
controller
enough.
and just like constantly press A. But Yeah, and yeah, like the legendary Pokemon would have to be soft
Hmm.
resetted, obviously. But it's like, I think it's like I think it was like easier to soft reset in like the older games because it didn't take that long. But on the Switch, it takes forever.
Yeah, no, it's the
So
it do be it do be like that where it's just like emulators, for example, just like 2 clicks and you're back in business, and then in this, it's just like you actually have to like go through the menus, go through all that, and it's like,
yeah, it's like you have to close the game and then you have to reopen it. And then it's like then there's the loading times you have to deal with. And it's like, um, yeah, it's just a bit of a pain. And uh, that being said, I'm trying to be hopeful about the update that they were talking about putting out for Scarlet and Violet for like on the Switch too.
oh
Because
yeah, you
I
actually
was
managed
talking
to
to my
get one of those.
Yeah, yeah, right. Oh my gosh. Like it's strange thinking about it, but like cuz like I've never gotten a console on launch, but it's like with the update, it's like, we don't know what's going into the update, but I was talking to
Hmm.
my friend last night and I was like, honestly, the baseline that I'm hoping for, I know that people want the game to run at 60 frames per second and that would be very nice. I want it to be a passable 30.
Yeah, like 60
Like
is
I
like
like
how unoptimized the game is, and how like, because the main thing is like with Legends Arceus, they could do the semi-open world, which worked really well because you weren't loading like the
yeah.
entire map; you were just loading a chunk, one map at a time. While with, I believe it was like with Scarlet and Violet, you're loading the entire region,
Fire map.
the entire and all
Yeah.
the water, and it's
Oh, the
they
water makes it terrible.
and they can't
Like,
do any of their old techniques that they used to do for like hiding stuff. Like they were very innovative in how they made their maps, but they swapped to open world without nearly enough time. And again, Game Freak is a fairly small studio. They have less than 200
yeah,
employees, and that less than 200 is also including their non-dev employees. And
yeah.
trying to make a game like that in, I think they had 2 years, if that, is
I
insane.
think that
Like,
yeah, because it's like I'm trying to think about when they started working on it because I'm assuming that it was after Sword and Shield
yeah, after they
finished
wrapped
its
up the
development.
DLC, I imagine.
Yeah, so let me see when like the Crown Tundra released. Pokemon Crown Tundra release
Crown
date
Tundra, I'm mixed on.
2020.
I'm mixed on Crown Tundra purely because I don't like Calyrex. I don't like
Oh,
Mr. I don't like Mr. I worked out at the library. He looks,
okay. So yeah, yeah, it says that Scarlet and Violet came out in late 2022.
yeah,
So
so
yeah,
at
it's like
max
I
two
don't.
years.
Yeah, and Legends Arceus came out in January. Um, And it's like, okay, something that like it sounds like there was like a lot of scheduling problems that happened around that because especially when this was like during COVID.
Yeah,
So there was like a lot of issues going on. I feel like they wanted to release Legends Arceus and like the um um Brilliant Diamond Shining
hmm,
Pearl at like different times or
yeah,
like something like that. But it's like so it felt like they were really just like shoving games out the gate like crazy. But
yeah.
it's
No, you are completely correct on
like
that.
and it's kind of sad like looking at like like Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl especially because it's like um you know I know that a lot of like it's different than a lot of the previous remakes that they've done for Pokemon.
Yeah, because
Because this
it's
one feels like more of like in line with like almost like a direct remake with a few QOL things added to it.
yeah, it's
I know that
also
the Elite Four got buffed up
yeah.
severely, like
I know it's also
and
probably a side effect of like it not being the first remake done by a third party rather than Game Freak directly.
yes, Oh, that poor company. This
Yeah,
was
they
literally their first major game.
which again for
Like,
their first game, it's a really it worked really well. Did
I
the most
know.
of what they were given. I think they should have taken the stuff from Platinum because it's ridiculous that all the like the new, basically all the new evolutions they added in Gen 4 can't be got until after the Elite Four. Like what the fuck? I want my life score now.
Yeah, yeah, it's like I think it is really unfortunate that they didn't have like the stuff for Platinum. But it's like again, like when people talk about like, oh, these are the worst remakes and whatever, I was like, I think that the problem is that Diamond and Pearl are just not very good games on their own.
Yeah, yeah, no.
Like,
Like Diamond and
so
Pearl
like
had a lot of flaws.
when everyone talks about loving Gen 4, they really mean Platinum, right?
Yeah, literally.
So like, and I never actually played Platinum, so I never, like, got the hype around Platinum. Like, I played Diamond, and I didn't really care much for it.
Yeah.
So, it's like it was just kind of like a game to me, like, for Pokemon.
Mm.
And then, like, after that, I played, Black.
Yeah, black and
And
white.
then that
Black
was
and white were great. Like
oh, they were so good, and
I
Black was
think
my
we're
last yeah,
oh
oh,
sorry.
sorry.
No, no, you go, you go.
Yeah, Black was my last Pokemon game that I had played for a very for a hot minute, like because it went from Black until I got Pokemon Alpha Sapphire.
Oh damn, so you missed
Like
black and
I
white
straight up
too, and then the X and Y games.
yeah, because okay, I always forget when these games came out. Pokemon XY release.
2013?
Like yeah, 2013. Good
Oh, I got it
lord.
on the head.
I don't like thinking about Yeah, I don't like thinking about
Don't like
how
thinking
old
about how that
these.
was 12 years ago.
Yeah, so yeah, it was like Alpha Sapphire. I got that because I was really excited for the remakes of those because I
Yeah.
love the Hoenn games. Like those were some of my favorites. So I was like, yeah, of course I'll get the remake. But it's like, when I was a teenager, I realized how much like video games costed, so I stopped asking my mom to get me video games for like my birthday and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um, so Pokemon Black was like my last Pokemon game for a while, other than like some like of the like spin-offs.
Mm.
Or I would
We
like
love
borrow
Pokemon Conquest. Give us a
oh
remake of
my gosh,
Pokemon Conquest. Let me fight Nobunaga again.
I hope that they remake Pokemon Conquest because I never played it.
It's so
Like
good.
when I think about like third party Pokemon games that I've played, it's like, I played like Pokemon Channel, Pokemon Coliseum, Gale of Darkness, um I've um let's see, Pokemon Ranger.
Oh, Pokemon Ranger's great.
Yeah, it's like I've played like a lot of the third party Pokemon games because like they were just really fun and I liked the different experiences. So it's
Mm.
like, I had like Pokemon Puzzle League and like Hey You Pikachu on the Nintendo 64 and stuff like
Hmm.
that. And I just really like the third party Pokemon games and
Hmm.
like I honestly wish that like well not third party, but like side
Yeah,
games.
yeah.
Um And I wish that they would release more like spin-offs for Pokemon. But now it feels like they just haven't been doing that. And I guess like it's just because like making like new games is just like so much work now.
It's that,
Like,
and a lot of companies don't want to let them risk that. They're like, oh, why would we risk this when we have something that clearly works? And it's like, it's
yeah, cause
part of why
yeah,
I kind of think the move to open world in Scarlet and Violet was a mistake. Um, to the extent of I don't think if they truly wanted to do that, they needed more time. And I think the game suffered greatly because of it. I think the Legends Arceus system would have worked better with like having different zones.
absolutely. Also, like with Legends Arceus, like when you load in, it's like a specific instance.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's like no matter how far away from a Pokemon you get on the map, if you come back, it will still be there.
yeah.
Like, and especially when you close the game and reopen it back up, it will always be the same.
Mm,
Like it just like change like, and it's like the same thing with like um outbreaks. Like,
Yeah.
outbreaks will always have the same Pokemon when you load into an instance, which I really, really liked because that means that, like, if you screw up catching a shiny Pokemon, you can just reload your save file and you're good.
Hmm.
But, it's like, with Scarlet and Violet, like, everything is just, like, so, like, loaded in, or, like, Pokemon will disappear if they get far enough away from you, and they're like just constantly loading. There's so much going on. There's not a lot like that can help like the game just not like overload itself. So the game runs like a slideshow a lot of the time, which
Yeah.
is really unfortunate because I think that if the game was optimized better, people would have received it like way better.
Yeah. No,
But
absolutely.
it's like that's the really unfortunate thing because I loved playing Violet. Like I think that this like the story was like really good. The characters were extremely solid. I liked the Pokemon designs a lot, and I liked the non-linear way to go about the game
Yeah, I think that was a
with
good.
having three different objectives
Yeah.
that would all lead to like one single end goal, which I really, really liked. I really
Mm.
enjoyed it. But then it was like, um, oh yeah, the game is so busted that like you could just see like the models just like breaking in the background, and like assets will disappear, and the game will run really badly. God help you if you're like on the lake.
God,
And
yeah.
it's like it's so unfortunate. Like I know I keep saying that, but it's like I wish that the game was running better, and it's sad because like Legends and Sword and Shield ran so good,
Yeah, no,
like
sort.
comparatively.
Yeah, and again, they are good at stylizing. They are good at creating something that makes the most of little, and that was lost because they're trying to do. They're just saying, well, open world's popular, so make it open world, and it's like, it really doesn't like.
Yeah, it's
It just
yeah.
execs. They fucking suck.
Yeah, and I know, and it's like I feel really bad for like a lot of the people that are like working on the Pokemon
Oh,
games.
absolutely. They have
It's
because
like this is not an easy task, but especially because like Pokemon is just like so much more than the games now because now you have
yeah,
to keep up with the anime and the merch and the TCG,
yeah,
and
like you
like there's just like
specifically have the
so
game's
much.
scheduling release has to coincide with the pack. So it's like, yeah, we're releasing this pack now. So if your game's not done, well, tough shit, ship it. And
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
like it's really it sucks like how much like goes into Pokemon as a franchise, like
mm,
especially with like how much they all revolve around each other. But it's like I'm it looks like Legends ZA is going to be running very well
yeah,
from like what they were showing because like I think it's going to be like baseline 30 FPS, which is fine. But like
mm,
they have like an upgrade that you can get on the Switch too that looks like it bumps it up to 60 FPS.
yeah,
Which I think would be actually for the best because of the combat being real time.
yeah, yeah. And it's
And
like,
I'm really interested in that
yeah,
actually.
that's the only reason I kind of want to switch to is for that and Metroid. But I cannot
Oh my
for the
gosh.
life of me justify dropping that much money on it when it's like
Yeah.
for two games at the moment. Like, because
Yeah, I totally understand.
I
Like,
want to, but like in this economy,
yeah, it's like, okay, one thing that I do think is really nice is like, okay, so I'm on a Switch family plan right now, so I can get the upgrades for free.
yeah,
Like, but it's like with the Switch 2 being backwards compatible, it means that you can just use like regular Switch games on it.
oh yeah, that is good. That is good.
Like, that is really nice because it's like, you can buy like the Switch game with like the upgrades or whatever like they're doing with Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, but I'm like, why would I do that? I already own them.
Yeah, literally,
Like, why would I ever do that? I already own them. And it's like God bless, I am not spending that much money on a game.
mm,
But it's like the only time I've ever bought a game that was like $70 was Monster Hunter Wilds.
yeah, I
But
feel that.
everything else, I'm like, I do like, okay, like Tears of the Kingdom. I didn't even get that at $70. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy the voucher set on the eShop, and then I saved like $40. from buying like 2 games.
Yeah, no, like
So
you gotta to get money, save the money when you can, like because again, like the issue is it's not just the money that all the companies wants, it's your time, and it's like we don't have the time to try to do all this shit anymore. Like,
yeah, it's like speaking of though, it's like I do think that it is like I feel like people are being a bit short-sighted when they think that, like this is actually very related, that they think that Microsoft is doing its price hike specifically because of Nintendo. And I was like, first of all, Microsoft is a very stupid company
yeah,
and they are also very greedy, but also
yeah,
Microsoft was literally right there with Sony with raising their prices to
yeah, like
$70
they'll
a
raise their
few years
prices
ago.
whenever they get a chance. Like, they
And
are
I'm like,
salivating at the idea of GTA 6 costing $100 at launch.
I know, like
They
we've
are
been talking about
salivating.
GTA. We've been talking about GTA like being like ungodly expensive for ages. So it's like I don't think that like they like, when people were like, "Oh, thanks Nintendo." I'm like, I don't think that Nintendo was like the reason for them like hiking up their prices. I think that they just saw this as a very convenient excuse.
Yeah,
But
literally.
also Microsoft will take any excuse to go and
Yeah, like
try to wring more money out of their
all
customers.
these
They were going to
companies,
bring it to 80 eventually.
yeah, all these companies are the same in terms of like they will try to squeeze as much money out of you as possible because not just because they want more money, they want that massive infinite growth, whatever the cost. And like,
Yeah, it's like I guess like it kind of reminds me of like how many people I know that like play specifically like PC games, I guess.
mm,
Because it's like, I've like had like PlayStation games like for ages, so I guess like I feel a bit more tapped into like PlayStation and Xbox prices despite me never playing an Xbox.
yeah,
But it's like I was like, yeah, I remember when like Sony and Microsoft were like hiking up their prices and then everyone was mad and then it was like, oh yeah, and then it turns out that like Nintendo was the only one that had like $60 launch games.
yeah,
Actually insane like comparatively
yeah.
like
No, it's like it's also like Nintendo is behind in a lot of business practices for better and for worse. Uh,
mm,
but also just their other tech is like the fact that we're getting like basically they're adding the Xbox Live Party system into the Switch, and I'm like, the thing we had back in the 360 days. Uh, I just found that very
yeah, it's
entertaining.
like
Like, I'm not saying it's
yeah,
a
I
good or
guess
bad
like
thing. I just think it's like
yeah.
if they were in on the loot box phase, Nintendo would have been right up there with Sony and Microsoft at the time if they were caught up to it.
Uh,
Uh,
I'm so glad that Nintendo never did the like any of like the loot box stuff. Like it sounds like they're pretty like
Rosie,
airtight on. Hmm?
play Pokemon Masters EX.
That is by a different company.
It's still a It's okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Like it's a mobile game, so it can't exactly be like compared to a Switch game
That's
because it's
fair.
like
That's fair. I was about to say
yeah, that's what I
I
was
don't
gonna
play
say.
anything with loot boxes. Blink blink.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say,
Yeah,
like, I mean, I wasn't saying like I don't play anything with loot boxes. I have like 4 gacha games I'm juggling at any given time.
you
I was
are
just gonna say I'm
insane.
glad that Nintendo specifically, like on the Switch, like
Yeah,
it sounds like they are very iron fisted about like what they allow in terms of gacha, and it's probably because their audience is mostly children.
yeah, and they can't get
So
away with
it's
it.
like yeah, so it's like, yeah, I guess like, like I've wondered if that's like one of the reasons that like Genshin Impact was like never able to get to the Switch, despite them like announcing it forever ago.
Yeah, honestly, it's probably a big reason. Also, I was very deliberate with my wording there. That they can't get away with it. Not that they wouldn't if they could. Um, Actually,
Yeah,
wait, don't they have FIFA on there? Because
I'm
FIFA has
not
loot boxes. Let
sure.
me check. Let me check because I know FIFA and all the whole EA Sports range has FIFA Switch. Yeah, no, FIFA's
Yeah,
on there.
like
So
yeah, I think it also depends on what the company is like willing to pay because because Nintendo also has to get the cut of whatever
yeah,
like profit they get. So it's like I feel like there's a bunch of legal stuff that goes into it that a lot of companies don't really want to deal with.
Holy
but
shit! One moment,
comparatively, it feels like there's.
I just got sent something absolutely incredible, and I have to share it immediately. It is some mermaid art of all a bunch of the Digimon girlies, and
Oh,
oh
this
my
is
god,
really
it's
good.
gorgeous.
Oh, this is
Sorry, I
really
got
good.
absolutely distracted by that. Uh,
Nah, this is really good. Rosemond looks amazing.
oh yeah, and look at Lady Devi one, just goddamn.
I
Uh,
know.
yeah, sorry about that, chat. Digimon is my ultimate hyperfixation, as a lot of my fans already know. Uh, and you will.
Oh
I'm
my
surprised.
God.
How have we not talked in this entire episode? Not talked about it.
Honestly, I forgot about it until 2 seconds ago. But
That's
in
fair.
fairness,
That's
I've been
fair.
very Pokemon brained recently.
That's fair.
But
We'll come back. We'll definitely come back together before the launch, before and after the launch of Time Strangers, and yap
oh
for
yeah,
ages.
like
God, I'm so excited for that still.
oh yeah,
Also,
I
one of
can't
the
wait
only
for
games I'll
it.
buy at launch.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, it's like, when I'm thinking about like Nintendo and them being behind, it's like I do think it is kind of funny though, like, when people are like, "Oh, well, how is like the Switch 2 not like more powerful or something? What do
Because
you
it's
mean it
not
only
designed to
runs
be.
like?"
You fucking
And it's like
clods. Sorry.
also it's like, "What do you mean it's like, PS4 graphics or whatever?" And then I'm like, "Do you know how powerful that is to put on a handheld?"
Yeah, literally. Like, I
Like
have
that is
I have
really good.
thought of getting a Steam Deck at some point because that's a comparable thing
Yeah.
to the Switch too. And it's like I do think it's a setback not having the OLED screen again, but also I understand that would raise the price more. But also
Yeah,
like
like I wonder if Steam is eventually going to increase the price for the Steam Deck.
I don't know because
Like because of the tariffs. Because the Steam Deck is
yeah, God,
developed in Taiwan.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. And whilst not as big as tariffs, we managed to avoid up until now without getting political. But fucking, I say that we've been talking about the fucking pains of capitalism, how it ruins everything. Um,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
because
the
it's like I've
tariffs
never
fucking
gotten
suck.
yeah, because like I've never gotten a Steam Deck and it's like it's something that I've just kind of like thought about in passing, but it's just like I don't know, I don't play PC games a lot
I'll be honest, I would
and
probably have
I'm
got it
just
to emulate other shit.
yeah, no, that's the only reason I've ever considered it is like if I wanted to emulate like anything.
Yeah,
And then it's like at the end of the day, I'm just like, okay, so if I'm buying this thing as an emulation machine, what is the point?
yeah. It's like if
Like, if
I
it's
could
like
just play
this
it on my
expensive,
computer.
like, I don't know, like it feels like it would just kind of be a waste of money to me. And it's like, a lot of people are like, "Oh, I've never regretted like getting my Steam Deck and everything." And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I'm not a major like PC gamer. And
Mm,
like everyone always says like, "Oh, well just get like a Steam Deck or like whatever." And I'm just
just get Skyrim
like
on the
instead
Steam
of
Deck.
yeah, just get a Steam Deck instead of getting a console. And I'm like, I don't know, like I don't really play PC games and like like with the Switch, like I do actively like play my Switch.
Yeah, yeah.
So oh
It's
God,
like
I'm scared of thinking about how many hours I put into this thing recently.
just don't look at my recent WoW hours. I know I was playing it a lot for a video, but also just fucking hell. Month. Little teaser for my next video. It's finally done recording stuff. It's over a month of recording I have to go through. It's so much. Uh, it was.
Oh my
That
gosh.
was a journey. That was a fucking journey I went through. I used to play a lot of Final Fantasy 14, and after the
Mhm.
last thing, after Endwalker, I was kind of like, you know what, I I'm kind of done, and
Yeah,
like I love it,
yeah,
and I love my Warrior Light, and I love the story I went on, but it's like I'm just kind of I was just done, and then I was like, my friend Marvis got me super into WoW. And then it was all downhill from there as I got addicted to it. Because I've tried playing WoW a lot in the past, but I kept bouncing off of
mhm.
it. And then this time I finally got into it, and I was like, oh no, the rotations, the gameplay, it feels so like everything I complained about in Final Fantasy, this one had, and I am going to be so insufferable when the fucking housing system drops because it feels like in the so they've done articles on it, and in the first one I read of the articles on talking about the housing system, it felt like a fucking subtweet aimed right at the Final Fantasy 14 housing.
Oh, how bad it is! Like I've seen like how it's like a bloodbath trying to get in there. I've
Yeah,
never
no,
played like
our guild
yeah.
had a medium house, but it's like you have limited physical space. Like you have set wards which are like just copies of the same like neighborhood basically, and you have the different houses in them. So there is a finite number of housing that you
Yeah.
have the lottery system to get. And it's
Oh
like
my god.
the WoW housing's already been said, like, yeah, there's going to be unlimited houses. You can make your own, you can have a friend neighborhood, a guild neighborhood. Uh, all your old shit's now going to be relevant again. Like, all the old expansions that you've done are now going to give you more
Mm.
decorations, your old crafting stuff. And it's like,
Yeah.
and being able to, like, yeah, you can have your character, you can share a house with another player and stuff. You can have a guild house. You can have all this. And it's like, oh my god, this is incredible. And it's just like,
Yeah, because it's like
and it's not
I'm
that
sorry.
difficult for Final Fantasy. The issue is with Final Fantasy is Square Enix hates Final Fantasy 14, but they get loads of money from it, but they just funnel they don't let them invest in itself. Like World of Warcraft over the years has had so much like infrastructure improvements and like improvements to
Uh-huh.
like the engine and all that stuff. While Final Fantasy has not been allowed that. They have not been allowed the proper improvements because it would cost money and investing, and God forbid you invest back in the game that's making you all that money. But
Oh my gosh,
Square Enix is a
Square Enix
company
is
that sold
so
Tomb Raider and
infuriating.
Hitman to buy NFTs. That's
Like
all you need to. Uh,
they are so infuriating as a company, and it's like, okay, like it shows what they think about their games when they do stuff like here's one of their most popular IPs in Square Enix, Kingdom Hearts. We are going to release Kingdom Hearts on the Switch, but on the cloud system.
God, I saw that and I was like,
It
I
will only
fucking
And it's just like, why would you ever do that? Like, that was terrible. Everyone got excited for 2 seconds and then nobody wanted it.
yeah,
Like,
because
that
like
you
it
screwed up
sucks.
so bad. Like, you have to screw up to such a degree where it's like you have to play it by streaming it to your Switch and it's only as good as your internet connection. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like people would have spent ungodly amounts of money. You would have been printing money,
Oh yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
releasing Kingdom Hearts as like a game on on the Switch, like Kingdom Hearts handheld. Like outside of the Steam Deck, people would have gone crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
But like,
Absolutely.
and it's such a shame. And it's like Square Enix is like the kings of making bad decisions. Like, like they are very baffling. And it's like I remember like okay, it's really funny remembering when Final Fantasy 14 used to be like a huge flop.
Yeah, the original
Like
version before Realm Reborn, yeah.
yeah, yeah, like it was not great. And it's like yeah, like with MMOs, like yeah, I used to play WoW and then I fell off. But that well, actually, I think it was kind of like less that I fell off, and it's more that like my last like PC just kind of like exploded on me,
Yeah, that's fair.
and then I couldn't play it anymore.
Yeah, that's more
So
than understandable. I know,
yeah, so I was like, and that was a pain because I really did enjoy playing WoW and
hmm,
like other games. But then it's like, like with a lot of MMOs, like I've played a lot of like Korean MMOs.
hmm,
So it's like, I played like Vindictus, Mabinogi, um,
for life?
uh, Flife. Yeah, I was literally about
Yeah!
to say Flife. I was about to say Flife because
Yeah, we love
my
life!
sister used to play it a lot.
Mm-hmm,
Like, and I was like, yeah, I used to play Flife. I played Ragnarok online.
mm-hmm. I played
Um,
Fiesta Online, that another one you've played?
which one?
Fiesta Online.
Oh, that sounds very familiar.
Yeah, it was a
And I've also
oh
played Trickster Online.
yeah. Mm-hmm. And
Trickster Online is a really fun one, especially since like, the original game like ended service in the US so people just like yoinked the files and now there's just a private server.
yeah, fair enough. I mean, I wonder if that Dragon Ball Online game's still ongoing.
Oh my gosh, and then the Digimon MMO.
Yeah, the Digimon MMO sure is. I hate that I've spent actual money on that fucking thing. Uh,
Yeah, it's like I had it downloaded, but then I was like, it felt like it could have been more, and it's really unfortunate that it was like a MMO that revolved around like Digimon Savers instead of
yeah,
like just being like a general Digimon MMO, if that makes sense.
yeah. It's also doesn't help that it's just it was so the very bare minimum that I just like they did the bare minimum for what they had to do and that was it. It didn't feel any
Mm.
passion or anything like if it wasn't for the fact that I was like, yeah, I love running around with my Digimon, which I had to pay real money for.
Also, it's like, yeah, you can like, incubate like an egg to get like a new partner, but it'll be like basically a dice roll to figure out like if it actually like works or not.
Yeah, God,
And
and
it's
then
like,
it's like also it's a dice roll if it'll actually be like a strong one or not, and also you have to pay more money to guarantee it will be good, and it's like fuck off.
I know, it's like they just kind of it's like they tried to like wring so much like money out of you,
And
and
it's
it
just like
was
the
really,
gameplay loop was not good enough to even attempt to do that. Like,
yeah, it was just really sad.
yeah. Well, I think that's a good time to wrap it up. Rosie,
Yeah.
where can people find you?
Oh, I am on Blue Sky, under Constellar VT. And I am also under the same name on my Twitch.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today. Really
Of
appreciate
course, I
it.
would love to do this again.
Oh, absolutely. Like, honestly, if honestly, it'll happen. It'll happen soon enough. I love yapping with you.
I love yapping.
Yeah, that's why we the Yappers. And thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!
Bye bye.